Welcome to the Intrinsic English School, where we help you speak English confidently and clearly. I'm Teacher Martin. In this series, we're looking at the topic idioms. If you'd like to be part of the IES family, go ahead, scan the QR code on the screen. If you'd like to participate in the lesson while you watch, feel free to comment with your answer in the chat. I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. We are looking at business and money idioms. Let's get started then. In today's fast-paced global economy, business and money idioms are essential tools for sounding natural, persuasive, and confident in professional English. These idiomatic expressions are widely used in offices, meetings, emails, and even casual conversations about work and finance. Without them, your language can sound too formal, too stiff, or overly textbook. The first type of business and money idioms we look at today are those related to profit and loss. In the black. In the black means to make a profit or to not be in debt. In a sentence, after months of slow sales, the company is finally in the black again this quarter. In the red. In the red means losing money or operating at a loss. In a sentence, we've got to increase sales or we'll stay in the red for the third month in a row. Make a killing. To make a killing is to earn a large amount of money and to do it quickly or unexpectedly. For example, in a sentence, she made a killing selling handmade candles on social media during the holidays. Cash cow. A cash cow is a reliable source of steady profit. For example, in a sentence, our online subscription service has become a real cash cow for the company. Break even. To break even is to neither make a profit nor lose money. For example, it took us 6 months to break even, but now the business is starting to grow. Bottom line. Bottom line means the final net profit or the most important result or outcome. In a sentence, you could say, the bottom line is that we need to cut costs if we want to survive the next quarter. Go belly up. To go belly up means to fail completely. Sometimes to go bankrupt. For example, that tech startup went belly up only after a year due to poor financial planning. Rake in the money. To rake in the money is to make a lot of money easily or quickly. For example, we could say the gaming app is raking in the money thanks to millions of downloads worldwide. Hit the jackpot. To hit the jackpot is to succeed unexpectedly or in a big way, or to make a huge profit. For example, in a sentence, when our product went viral on TikTok, we really hit the jackpot. Money spinner, otherwise money maker. A money spinner, money maker is a product, a service, or an idea that generates a lot of income. In a sentence, you could say, their online course has turned into a real money spinner for the business. So comment with your answer in the chat. What does the idiom go belly up means? Go belly up. What does the idiom go belly up mean? All right. We look at the next type of business and money idiom. Business and money idioms that have to do with risk and opportunity. Throw caution to the wind. To throw caution to the wind is to take a bold risk and to do so by ignoring the potential dangers. In a sentence, he threw caution to the wind and invested in a startup with no guarantee of success. Take the plunge. To take the plunge is to commit to a big decision or risk after hesitating. For example, in a sentence, after thinking it over for months, I finally took the plunge and quit my job to launch my own company. Leap of faith. To take a leap of faith means to take a risk with trust, even without proof of success. For example, in a sentence, starting my business was a leap of faith, but it turned out to be the best decision I ever made. On thin ice. To be on thin ice is to be in a risky or dangerous situation that could go wrong. For example, in a sentence, he's on thin ice with the management after missing 3 deadlines in a row. Put all your eggs in one basket. To put all your eggs in one basket means you're relying on only one plan or only one investment or only one solution. And this could be very risky. So in a sentence, you could say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify your investments. Play it safe. To play it safe means to avoid taking risks. It means to choose a cautious path. In a sentence, you could say, instead of expanding aggressively, the company decided to play it safe this year. Sink or swim. Sink or swim means to succeed or fail based solely on one's own efforts. They gave me a leadership role with no training. It's sink or swim now. Strike while the iron's hot. This means to take action at the perfect or most advantageous time. For example, in a sentence, the market's growing fast. We should strike while the iron's hot and launch our product now. Go out on a limb. To go out on a limb means to take a risk to support an idea or a decision. For example, in a sentence, she went out on a limb to recommend a new vendor with no track record. A window of opportunity. A window of opportunity is a short period of time to take advantage of something. There's only one small window of opportunity to enter the Asian market before competitors do. All right, so let's see if you can remember this risk and opportunity idiom. Comment with your answer down below. What does the idiom go out on a limb mean? Comment with your answer down below. The next type of business and money idioms we're going to look at are those that have to do with negotiations and deals. Strike a deal. This means to reach an agreement or finalize a negotiation. For example, after hours of discussion, we finally struck a deal with a supplier. Drive a hard bargain. To drive a hard bargain means to negotiate strongly to get the best possible outcome. For example, in a sentence, you could say, she drives a hard bargain, but we managed to agree on a fair price. Seal the deal. To seal the deal means to close or finalize an agreement. For example, in a sentence, a handshake during the lunch meeting seals the deal for the new contract. Sweeten the deal. To sweeten the deal means to add something extra to make an offer more appealing. For example, in a sentence, we could say, we'll sweeten the deal by offering free shipping for the first 3 months. Meet halfway. To meet halfway means to compromise or to each give up something to reach an agreement. For example, in a sentence, you could say, we both had different timelines, but we agreed to meet halfway. Hammer out a deal. To hammer out a deal is to work through the details until an agreement is reached. For example, in a sentence, the legal teams are hammering out a deal that satisfies both parties. Bargaining chip. A bargaining chip is something you can offer or withhold to gain an advantage in negotiation. For example, in a sentence, their access to new markets is a strong bargaining chip in the merger talks. On the table. On the table means that an offer or something is open for discussions. For example, all budget options are still on the table. We haven't decided yet. Call the shots. To call the shots is to be in control or to make the final decisions. An example in a sentence, in negotiations, it's clear that the CEO calls the shots. Back and forth. Back and forth means a series of negotiations or exchanges between parties. So in a sentence, you could say there was a lot of back and forth before both sides agreed on the price and terms. All right, what does the idiom on the table mean? Yes, comment with your answer down below. So we're now looking at business and money idioms that talk about success and failure. Move the needle. To move the needle is to make a noticeable difference or improvement. For example, in a sentence, her marketing strategy really moved the needle in terms of user engagement. Come out on top. To come out on top means to succeed or win, especially after a struggle. For example, after months of competition, our team came out on top in the sales challenge. To go off without a hitch. To go off without a hitch means to succeed smoothly with no problems. In a sentence, you could say the product launch went off without a hitch and the feedback was amazing. Drop the ball. To drop the ball means to fail at a task, especially due to carelessness. In a sentence, you could say, I dropped the ball on that client follow-up. I totally forgot to send the proposal. Ahead of the curve. Ahead of the curve means to be more advanced or innovative or more successful than competitors. In a sentence, you could say, our new AI feature keeps us ahead of the curve in the tech industry. Fall flat. To fall flat means to fail completely, especially when something was expected to succeed. For example, in a sentence, the advertising campaign fell flat and didn't generate any leads. Come up short. To come up short is to fail a goal or meet an expectation. In a sentence, you could say, we came up short of our sales target by just 5%, but we learned a lot. Knock it out of the park. To knock it out of the park means to do something extremely well or successfully. In a sentence, you could say, your presentation knocked it out of the park. Everyone was impressed. Make it big. To make it big is to become very successful, especially in business or career. In a sentence, you could say, she made it big after her app got featured by a major tech magazine. Hit the ground running. To hit the ground running means to start a task or project with great energy and success right away. In a sentence, you could say, the new intern hit the ground running and already improved our social media reach. What does the idiom ahead of the curve mean? Ahead of the curve. Comment with your answer down below. So the final business and money idioms we're going to look at today are those that have to do with teamwork and leadership. In the driver's seat. If you're in the driver's seat, it means that you're in control or you're in a leadership position. In a sentence, you could say, now that Jenna is in the driver's seat, the team has a clear direction and purpose. Pull together. To pull together means to work as a team and cooperate, especially in difficult situations. In a sentence, you could say, we all pulled together during the system outage and managed to restore operations quickly. Too many cooks spoil the broth. This means that you have too many people involved and it can ruin a task or a decision. For example, in a sentence, let's not involve the whole department. Too many cooks spoil the broth. Step up to the plate. To step up to the plate means to take responsibility or leadership when needed. For example, in a sentence, When the team lead got sick, Maya stepped up to the plate and took over the presentation. On the same wavelength. To be on the same wavelength is to think and communicate in harmony with someone. For example, in a sentence, the new designer and I are on the same wavelength. It makes collaboration easy. Rally the troops. To rally the troops means to motivate a team or group to take action. For example, in a sentence, before the big pitch, the CEO rallied the troops with a powerful speech. Pass the baton. To pass the baton means to hand over responsibility to another person, often in a team setting. In a sentence, we could say, after launching the new system, I'll pass the baton to the support team for maintenance. Get everyone on board. To get everyone on board means to gain support or agreement from all members of a team or group. For example, you could say, before we move forward with this policy, we need to get everyone on board. Put someone in the loop. To put someone in the loop is to keep someone informed or updated on a project or situation. In a sentence, you could say, please put the new marketing assistant in the loop so she can contribute to the next campaign. Take one for the team. To take one for the team means to make a personal sacrifice for the benefit of the majority. For example, in a sentence, I didn't want to stay late, but I took one for the team and finished the report so we'd meet the deadline. All right, so what does the idiom step up to the plate, step up to the plate mean? Comment with your answer down below. Wonderful. So, shall we summarize today's lesson then? In today's lesson, we saw that business and money idioms generally talk about profit and loss, risk and opportunity, negotiations and deals, success and failure, teamwork and leadership. Now, practice makes perfect, so I want to encourage you to take time to complete this practice exercise. Give one business and money idiom you can recall for each. A business and money idiom for profit and loss, one for risk and opportunity, one for negotiations and deals, one for success and failure, one for teamwork and leadership. Yeah, just to challenge yourself and see whether you remember anything from this lesson at all. All right, excellent. So we are going to conclude this lesson now. Business and money idioms are more than just colorful phrases. They're powerful communication tools that can help you sound more natural and fluent, build stronger professional relationships, understand workplace culture, navigate negotiations, risks, and opportunities with confidence. By learning business and money idioms, you're not just learning words, you're learning how to speak the language of success. So start using them in your conversations, emails, and meetings to become a more persuasive and confident English speaker. In the next lesson, we'll look at time idioms. So make sure you're following or subscribed. Do you have any comments or queries? Leave them in the comments down below, and we'll be sure to get back to you as soon as we can. If you'd like to go through the full course on your own, use the QR code for more details. That's it for now here at the Intrinsic English School, where we help you speak English confidently and clearly. I'm Teacher Martin. We'll see you in the next one.